Hey guys, Ms. Vargas here and welcome to the video. In today's video, I will be giving y'all a garden update and I will be having a water balloon competition with a special guest. I'll tell y'all who that is later. So go ahead and enjoy my garden update. Hey guys, have a little garden update here. I got a few different types of flowers, a couple of the same, this little big pink one here. Now it's time to dig up the holes and actually plant them. The final result. I can't wait for this to grow and get really big. Here's what this flower is gonna look like. The Hawaiian punch. Give it a big thumbs up. Share the love. Before I go over the rules for this water balloon fight, I want to introduce our special guest, Mr. Face, my boyfriend. Are you ready for this water balloon fight?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna win.
Well, it's not actually a water balloon fight. So, in the background here, come this way, we have the trampoline. So, do you want to explain the rules of this game? Or do you want me to?
Go ahead.
Okay.
I barely know myself.
Okay, so, rules. We are both going to be standing at a certain length away, and the object is to throw water balloons into the trampoline. Okay? Easy, right? Wrong! There is a catch. You want to safely toss the balloons into the trampoline. Therefore, if one pops, it does not count. Okay? Any questions?
No?
We will be doing 3 rounds where we each are going to throw 10 balloons. Okay? So, here we go.
We got her.
Oh.
2.
That's not even
2.
in.
It's on the
That's
trampoline.
not in the trampoline.
2.
Oh my gosh. final score, and I lost.
Yep. So now the loser has to get a bucket of water dumped on them, and the loser today is Miss Vargas.
Well, and to let y'all know, it is pretty chilly out here, and that water is pretty cold. Wish me good luck.
This should be fun.
Okay, wait. How cold is it? Oh, it's pretty cold.
How cold is it?
It's very cold. Okay. Okay.
What happened, Miss Vargas?
That was so cold. I'm the loser. Okay,
Time to give it your boopsies. Boops.
now it's time to go inside and start talking about data. Hey guys, new clothing here because I was absolutely soaked when he dumped that water bucket on me. Was not fun nor fresh. Anywho, so now I created 3 different, let me see if I can switch, there we go. I created 3 different charts that we're going to be talking about in our next unit of data and statistics. So first chart is a pie chart. Next we have a dot plot. Okay, and then finally we have our bar graphs. All we should have seen before, nothing new. So starting off with the pie chart, the important thing to know is that the whole chart has to equal to 100%. Now these data here, let me see, the 17, 17, and 26, those are not percents. Obviously they don't equal to 100%. Those are how many happened in each category. So red category is Chris, so he safely landed 26 balloons. That's how this is set up. So let's go ahead and look at our first question. Move this out of the way. So what percent of water balloons does, oops, there's a typo, does Chris land safely? Let me move this out the way. Oh, by the way, I'm using my little Apple pen here. I know it didn't go very well during class, but hopefully it goes better here. My laptop at home is pretty big, bigger than the little tablet. Okay, so what percent of water balloons does Chris land? So we need to do Chris divided by the total. Well, Chris did 26 balloons safely, and the total was 60 balloons. You would find the total by adding 17, 17, and 26. And then you would just divide this out. It is 0.43 repeating. You know how to divide, numerator divided by the denominator. And then we gotta change this to a percent because it's asking for a percent. Moving my decimal over twice to the right. So what percent of water balloons? That was 43.3 repeating percent. Okay, feel pretty good about that. Let's go ahead and move this second one. What percent of water balloons were landed safely? Okay, so looking at our chart, let me use a different color. Use blue. Looking at our chart, this is not 100% of the data. We only want mine and Chris's numbers because 17 were popped. That means they were not landed safely. So 17 plus 26, that is 43 were landed out of the total, which we said was 60. And you would divide that and you would get 0.716. So moving my decimal over twice, that equals to 71.6 repeating percent. So not bad. Almost 3/4 of the ones that we threw, we actually landed safely, which turns out Chris didn't really cheat, but he had a strategy. He told me that he would pick the smallest balloons and leaving me the biggest balloons. So then they were more likely to pop if they're bigger. Anyways, techniques, I didn't see that, my fault. And I suffered with cold water. Okay, Our next graph is a dot plot, and the way this is structured is Vargas 1 means how many I landed my first round, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You just count the dots. Chris 1, how many Chris landed in the first round? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. So, pretty simple. Now we're going to have some true or false statements, and we can have multiple trues and multiple false. So don't just think because the first one was true that none of them can be true again. Let me delete this first one. The percent of Miss Vargas round 2 is 15% of the total water balloons landed. Okay, let me get my pen. I want to do this in red. There we go. Okay, so we're looking for the percent of my round 2 is 15% of the total. That is a keyword for equals to 15% of the total. So let's go ahead and figure out how many I did in round 2. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we need to count the total, which we know from last round, from the last problem. How many were landed safely? 43. So landed safely is 43. What we want to know is 5, 15% of 43. So let's go ahead and do 43 times 15% as a decimal and see if we get 5. And no, this one is false. 5 is not 15% of 43. 6 is 15% of 43. Okay, let's go on to the next one. The number of water balloons Chris got in round 1 is equal to 180% of Miss Vargas's round 1. At Chris's round 1 was 9. And we want to know if that is equal to 180% of 5. Okay, same thing. I'm going to take my 180 and turn that into a decimal and multiply that by 5 and see if we get 9. Like this one is true. True. 9 is 180% of round 1. Okay, next one. So the ratio of the total number of water balloons from round 1 to the total number of water balloons of round 3 is 8 to 7. Okay, okay. And so we have a ratio from the total water balloons from round 1 to the total number of water balloons in round 3. Okay, so round 1 right here, we have 5 and 9, so total of round 1 is 14. Round 3, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plus 9. So round 3 was 16. So we're going to see, and this too is very important. 14 to 16, is that the same as 8 to 7? No. This one is flip-flopped. The way you read this statement is important. 14 to 16. This looks like the right answer because they're half of each of those numbers, but the order matters. So this is not correct. That one is. Okay. Last one. The total number of water balloons from round 2 was 3 less than the total number of water balloons from round 3. We know what the total number of water balloons in round 3 was 16. So round 2 is 5 plus 8, so that is 13. So is 13 3 less than 16? That is true. See, pretty simple. We just got to take it step by step, pay attention to one statement at a time, and just show all your work and go through it. Okay, and our final one is a bar graph. So let's see what this first question says. Based on the information in the graph, which rounds represent about 60% of the total water balloons landed safely? Okay, one way you can do this is figure out what is 60% of the total. I'm going to use this purple color. So we need to figure out the total, which is 43. So let's see what 60% of 43 is. So 43 times 60% as a decimal. So we're looking for about 26. Okay, so we're looking at which two columns or which two bars equal to 26. Or maybe it's 3, who knows? So first answer choice. Rounds Chris 1 and Vargas 1. Okay, Chris 1 is 9. It is very helpful to write the values at the top of each bar. And Vargas 1 is 5. Vargas 2 is also 5. Did not show growth there. Chris got 8. At least I didn't decline. And 7. And he went back to 9. Okay. So, Chris 1, 9. Vargas 1, 5. That does not equal to 26. Okay, next one. Vargas 1, which is 5. Vargas 2, 5. And Vargas 3, 7. Well, I know that is 10 plus 7, that's 17. Nope. Oh, by the way, this one was 14. Just moving along. Chris 2 and Vargas 3. Okay, so Chris 2 is 9. Oh, no, Chris 2 is 8. My bad. Vargas 3 is 7. 15. Nope. Let's hope this next one is the right one or else I messed up. It looks like all 3 of Chris. So let's see. Chris 1 is 9. 2 was 8. And Chris 3 was 9. I know 9 plus 9 is 18. Plus 8. There we go. D is our final answer. So, I don't think this next unit is going to be pretty hard at all. I mean, as long as you think through the process and just watch your decimals and your percent signs here, I think we'll do just fine. Okay. Well, that's all I have for y'all today. Make sure to like, subscribe, and ring that little bell down below. I miss you guys, and see y'all in the next video. Bye!